Hey, you see that behind me? It's pretty hard to ignore, so you probably see it. Does it feel a little bit like 2020 RobertIDK? Because it should, because that's the last time I had this many lights on my wall. Actually, I don't think I've ever had this many lights on my wall. Is this too much?
It could be too extreme.
I can turn it down, but then it's doing this weird thing, right? Is it doing a weird thing? I'll know when I edit it, but if this works, then I'll do, anyways, whatever. My set is a mess, my mind is a mess, and there's no better time for me to film a video. My story animated! We are back with the dudes who make the cartoons. All girls in my family died at 18. I should not be laughing at that. Pretty intense, but you know, I think we're ready. I think we're ready for it. Remember people, My Story Animated made this video. We are just reacting to it. Check them out if you like it, okay? Check them out.
That's right, Robert. My Story Animated did all the work, and all you do is just stand around and make yourself look stupid.
Okay. I mean, I acknowledge that, but you don't really need to say that.
Robert, you've disrespected me enough over the last 2 years. I can say whatever I want.
All right. I'm not in a position to match your energy right now, Mickey. Not in the position.
Well, you better get up here because the weather is fine.
All right, we're gonna let him do his thing for now. Let's watch the video. All the girls in my family died at 18. Oh my gosh. 3, 2, 1. Go! All right, very high quality animation on this one so far. Very excited.
I remember the exact moment when I realized my life was in danger. For weeks it had been building up and suddenly I was sitting there and it dawned on me.
I'm
if I
in
didn't
danger!
take drastic measures to ensure my safety, I would lose my life. Never in a million years did I think I'd only get to live for 18 years.
All right. No context so far. We're gonna find out. Why does every adult die at 18? Surely, if there was a genetic condition that was in your family, you would know that from when you're like 10, right? So, anyways, we'll see.
There was still so much I wanted to do with my life. I mean, I'd barely even kissed a boy, and I hadn't even gone to college yet.
No!
This couldn't be happening. And it's not like I had the most carefree life. For one, I'd never met my mom. She died while giving birth to me, and I felt like I must be this constant reminder for my dad that I'm the reason Mom died.
Oh no, that is serious. That is serious and very tragic. Oh no, that happens. That used to happen all the time. Back in like medieval times, before modern medicine, it was very common for mothers to die during childbirth. Oh man, how tragic is that? That's why in The Walking Dead, they don't have medical technology at all, so the mom dies during childbirth. That is really sad. That's really sad. That's just really unfortunate. I hope there's some happiness in this video. If not, I'll force it to be happy.
I know these things happen, but I couldn't help feeling responsible. So when my 18th birthday was approaching, I decided to pace carefully. Every birthday I had was bittersweet. I always had cake and presents, but at the same time, we always visited Mom's grave and took her flowers.
Oh my God. What a wonderful birthday tradition. Oh, could you imagine? I hope you get that out of the way before you do the cake and presents. Otherwise, you're eating that cake. You can't enjoy that cake. You can't enjoy the cake because you're about to visit a grave right after. You have to think about that every single birthday. Do you have to do it at the exact same time? I don't know. Still very sad.
She died so I could be born. Honestly, it's the biggest burden I'll ever carry.
Oh my
Turning
gosh.
18 felt like a big deal because that was the age my mom died. Yep,
Oh my
she fell
gosh.
pregnant very young and her death was so tragic.
Then stop smiling! Her death was so tragic. She died at 18! Woohoo! Hopefully this means that there's some good news in here. I don't know why you're smiling. A little weird, but aren't all these videos?
I knew this birthday would be particularly difficult for my dad, so I didn't even mention it. He asked me how I wanted to celebrate, and I said I was happy to just go out for dinner or something.
Okay,
Pretty
fair.
quickly, my dad started acting kind of strange. He's always been a quiet, reserved type of guy,
Oh, no.
but this was next level.
Oh, no.
I came home from school one day
Quiet
and found
dad with
him
the
sitting
trauma.
on my bedroom floor, holding some of my old teddy bears.
No,
crying.
Dad, it's okay.
I was so shocked. I saw my dad cry often, but this was different.
Really? Oh no. You see your dad cry often? That's really sad. Oh my gosh, so much tragedy. Guys, have something nice, please. I want something nice. If there isn't something happy real soon, there's gonna be a problem. Fair warning.
He looked really, really sad. I went over to him to ask what was wrong, and he pulled me onto the ground and he wouldn't stop hugging me.
He's happy all of a sudden?
That was just the beginning. Throughout the next couple of weeks, he wouldn't leave me alone. He was so clingy.
Oh,
it actually got a
no.
bit much at one point.
He knows she's gonna die.
He wouldn't even let me walk to school by myself. He insisted on walking with me, and he even tried to hold my hand when we were crossing the road.
Oh my gosh,
I pushed
what
his
is
hand
going
away
on?
and said, "Dad, stop it. I'm almost 18. I'm not a kid. I can cross the road by myself." He looked taken aback after I shouted at
Oh my gosh, is there some divine curse? Is this Harry Potter? Are we in Harry Potter world? Are we in Harry Potter world? Did Voldemort cast a curse on the family that every 18 die, you know, the girl dies at the 18? Unless there's some magic going on, or he planned this himself. I don't know, but we got a long time to figure this out.
He looked taken aback after I shouted at him, and he apologized and walked away. There was a lot of traffic, but I could have sworn I heard him say something like, "That's the problem. You're almost 18.
After 1 week.
I was feeling tired, so I started walking upstairs towards my room. It was so hot, so I opened my window and flopped down on my bed. I could hear my dad and my cousin outside talking, but I wasn't really paying attention.
Oh no, they're gonna spill
Suddenly,
the tea.
I heard my name and my ears perked up. Listen,
We're gonna find out the
need to
truth.
tell her. Oralee is turning 18 this week. She has a right to know. I mean, when was the last time any female in this family made it past 18? It's like a curse, Uncle James. Curse?
Wait, so they
what
don't
was my cousin
know-
talking
they don't
about?
know why?
What did I have a right to know? I ran downstairs as fast as I could, but my cousin was already in his car driving
No,
off.
cousin,
I screamed
come
his name, but he
back!
just waved and then was gone. As I turned around, my dad was standing in the doorway. Dad, what's going on? Is this why you've been acting so weird? Am I about to die or something? Oralee, no. Don't be stupid.
Oralee. See, why did we have to wait 3 minutes to know that her name is Oralee? I don't know about Oralee, but I know there's a bad aura going on over here. There's a bad aura, and we need to know the answer.
Your cousin has clearly been watching too many movies. It's just a coincidence that your mom,
Dad,
my
stop
sister,
lying.
and your cousin all died at the same age, but what do you mean, your sister? I was too quick for him. And that's how I found out that my dad had a sister who drowned when she was 18.
Oh my gosh.
I had never even heard of her before.
Stop smiling! Stop it! Stop it! I guess after all of she's probably just happy to be alive. You know, she's probably telling this story as a 19-year-old and is like, you know what? It's all fun and games now. You know, it was traumatic back then, but you know what they say? Comedy, it's tragedy plus time. I don't know. I don't know how someone can smile while talking about someone drowning, but apparently it's possible.
I had never even heard of her before. No wonder my dad was so emotional about me turning 18. He'd lost his wife and his sister at that age. It was crazy. It felt like something out of a movie.
Plus side, here's the plus side. You get a dog, get a female dog. If that thing lives to be 18, that is a treasure. That is extremely lucky. A dog or a cat, get some pets, get some female pets, and then you're gonna have your pet for a long time. Huh? Doing some thinking for you. Just coming up with some brilliant ideas to help your family. You know, it's okay, you know. How can you ever repay me? Oh, I don't know, I guess it's hitting the like button or something, you know. No, I don't know, something like that.
A family curse. And then my cousin, she died last year in a car crash, and she'd been 18 too. That night, I didn't sleep much. The more I thought about
Makes
it,
sense.
the more it made sense. I couldn't remember
How
the
does it make
last
sense?
time a woman in our family had lived past the age of 18.
That doesn't
How
make
had
sense.
I not thought of this before? This whole time, I'd been excited to turn 18 because I'd go off to college. But how would I even make it to college? What if I died tomorrow?
I'm in danger!
Has there ever been a more appropriate time for that meme?
My mom died giving birth, my aunt died drowning, and my cousin died in a car crash.
It's time to start buying some
well,
crystals.
I could definitely avoid swimming, and I didn't own a car, and there was no chance I was about to have a baby. but I could die just walking down the street.
If a POW comes out of nowhere, yeah, I know, that can happen. How is she going to almost die? Obviously, like, I don't think it's gonna happen to her. She's telling the story, and she's smiling. So I'm thinking she's like 19 while telling the story. But what is going to almost happen? I wanna know. It's not gonna be the car crash, it's not gonna be the drowning, and it's not gonna be the childbirth, because she isn't pregnant. I think she's gonna go too long watching RobertIDK without hitting the subscribe button or booping the like button. And while that doesn't pose any physical danger, a lot of people, it may cause you to die inside. You gotta boop the like button, that's the only way. Don't worry, if there's no other danger, I'll take care of this.
I'm in danger! Robert, shut up!
I told you to, leave me alone!
I was turning 18 a day later. That meant I had 24 hours to do all the things I wanted to do. But what if I died doing them? No, I couldn't even risk it. I spent the last day of being 17 curled up in bed watching movies. I didn't even want to eat in case
Your house is gonna catch fire.
My dad kept asking me to at least join him downstairs. But what if I fell down the stairs and then...
Well, just don't.
There was one thing I knew I couldn't skip. It was our tradition, after all.
Oh,
Dad was watching TV, and I crept behind him
graveyard?
and went out to the garden to pick some flowers. Mom always loved tulips, and we had them...
Yeah, visiting the graveyard. That's a good omen. That's the safest thing you could possibly do. Visit a graveyard. If that's not poking the bear, if that's not tempting fate, then I don't know what is, orally.
I came back inside and tapped Dad on the shoulder.
Hey, Dad!
He turned around and I thought he would cry from happiness. Come on, Dad. You didn't think
Why would he cry from happiness?
Did you? We drove to the cemetery, and it was
He's
pitch
smiling
black.
now.
We left home late, to be honest, but better late than never. We made our way across the path towards Mom's grave.
Of course.
It was too dark, so I ran back to the car to get Dad's flashlight. Suddenly, the ground gave way beneath me, and if it hadn't been for a nearby gravestone, which I quickly grabbed onto, I'd have fallen about 3 meters into a freshly dug hole. I got such a fright, I just started screaming.
Yeah, why did you go here?
And saw me standing an inch from the hole. Luckily, Dad had already put the tulips by Mom's grave because I wasn't about to spend a second longer than I needed to in that place. On the way home,
Why on earth did you think that was a good idea?
We didn't speak a word to each other.
She is losing it. She is losing it.
I'm in danger!
Yeah, why, you gotta stay home. You were going to stay home. Why would you? You weren't gonna die playing video games. You could have done that. Anyways.
It's tradition. Oh.
As we pulled up into the driveway, I slammed the door and turned to Dad and said,
Bruh.
See, it is a curse. I could have died back there. I was shaking as I walked carefully to my room.
Falling 3 feet into dirt, 3 meters into dirt? You wouldn't have, what? Oh, and then just an earthquake would happen and then bury you alive. Yeah, not likely. Not likely. I could have died by falling in the dirt. You know, the dirt is like the best thing to fall on in the natural environment. It's like the safest thing to fall on. Gonna be fine. You're gonna be fine. I don't know why you went still, but whatever.
I was shaking as I walked carefully to my room. I decided it was no longer safe out there. I couldn't die. I was too young. I locked myself in my room, and I made a promise to myself not to leave it again. I'd pretty much almost fallen into an open grave. The curse was real. Dad eventually gave up trying to get me to go anywhere. Summer vacation had arrived, and I was adamant that I would not leave my room.
I would not leave my room.
I could get stung by a killer bee or slip in the shower. After weeks of not going outside, I started to feel really weak.
The human
One
battery.
day, my friends came over with a picnic and tried to get me to go outside. But
This is exactly like in SpongeBob. I gotta show you guys. I gotta show you. So yeah, SpongeBob is sandboarding.
Don't worry, guys. Everything's under control, because I'm in next mode!
All right. And so then the rest of the episode, he is hiding inside because he doesn't want to, he doesn't feel safe. And so Patrick and Sandy are trying to get him to go outside with anything possible.
Indoors! Indoors! Indoors!
So basically, it's the same deal. It's very similar.
I refused. They ate their picnic on my bedroom floor while I sat in bed and ate some leftover soup.
Yeah.
After they went home, I felt relieved. Who knew what bug they might have brought into my room?
Oh,
but
no.
that night, I started to feel really
Oh,
sick.
no.
I woke up and there was sweat pouring down my back.
Oh, no.
My skin felt clammy and hot, and
Oh my gosh,
suddenly
you got
I had to
spider
run to the
skin.
bathroom. The whole time I was running there, I kept thinking, what if I fall and hurt myself?
Oh,
it
my
was only
gosh.
when I was throwing
You're
up into the
stressing this
toilet
much,
that the
you're gonna
realization
die.
washed over me. Oh my gosh, I could die from being sick.
Oh.
It kept getting worse, and my dad found me slumped across the bathroom
Oh,
floor
no.
and rushed me to the hospital. I had to take a big bucket along as I couldn't stop throwing up.
Turned out she was
Dad
pregnant.
kept apologizing, saying he was sorry, and maybe
Sorry?
there really was a curse. which
Sorry!
definitely-
Is this voice actor Canadian? Huh? You hear that? You hear that?
Sorry.
Okay, now I really want this person to be okay. If they're Canadian, I double want them to be okay. So I'm rooting for you. I'm rooting for you.
Definitely didn't help the matter. We reached the hospital and Dad had to basically pick me up and drag me through the doors. That's how weak I was. Then to make matters worse, the doctor who had saved my life when Mom died was the one who was on duty.
Oh, no.
Which,
All right, we gonna kill this one too, Jake. All right. Bring in the cursed woman.
which of course just brought a whole flood of emotions back for my dad. Could this night get any crazier? I think the
Keep
nurses
on
on
smiling.
duty weren't sure which of us was the sick one.
Huh?
Dad looked just as pale and upset as I did. After some tests, the doctor confirmed that I wasn't dying. I just had a severe case of
Panic
food
attack.
poisoning from the soup I'd eaten.
Oh,
and also
gosh,
a
okay,
bit of
whatever.
malnutrition from staying indoors for so long and refusing to eat properly.
Yeah.
You mean I'm not going to die, Doc?
You mean I'm not gonna die, Doc? No, Orly. You just need to take better care of your body. Watch RobertIDK for more health advice. Gee, thanks, Doc.
What about the curse? At
about the
this, the
curse?
doctor started
Go into a hospital and say that. Hey, what about the curse, doctor? Oh, see, my 10 years of medical school did not prepare me for this. Oh yeah, the class we took on curses. Of course. Your family, you have to spin around 10 times and say dank memes 50 times in a row, and that will lift the curse. Doctor, what about the curse? What about the curse, doctor? Why would you ask a doctor? What about the curse? Oh no, just pull the plug. At that point, the doctor will not be receptive to that. They don't want to hear that. What about the curse?
At this, the doctor started laughing. Okay, Orly, you need to get some rest. And your old man,
And
too.
psychiatric
You're both
help,
a
Orly.
bit delirious, I think. After a couple of days of rest in the hospital, I was ready to go home. I'd survived. Had I beaten the curse? On the drive
my
home,
gosh.
out of nowhere, Dad just burst out laughing.
What? What?
Orly, I think you actually cursed yourself. How ironic is that? You refused to go outside and you refused to eat the food your friends cooked, and still you got sick. It's all in our heads, I think. Let's just put this all behind us.
Dad's teaching us a valuable lesson. Eat right, get your exercise. It is actually true, stressing yourself out and worrying chronically, it does have physical effects on your body. You know? You ever been really worried about something and then you just like can't eat and you don't have energy and you just feel bad and like you can't run as fast? You just don't feel as physically good? It's real, people. The placebo effect is real. Like, I've had nausea caused by worry in the past. I've had like really crazy, wacky, awful stuff happen and it's made me nauseous. It used to be a big problem of mine. It actually got better once I started exercising and eating properly. I'm not kidding. This isn't just, I'm not just saying this to convince you guys to take care of yourselves. It's for real.
It's all just coincidence, okay? There's no such thing as curses. And you know
Wow,
what?
Dad.
Was right. I'd become so fixated on keeping myself out
Well,
of
your
danger
dad
that I'd
caused
actually
that.
brought it on myself.
Your
It's
dad
like I'd
convinced
drawn
you
this
of it.
bad energy towards me. Well, this is at least what I tried to convince myself with, because honestly, a small part of me still believes that
Oh,
I
no.
have avoided a curse rather than it not ever existing. I mean, I did kinda almost die a couple of times. Coincidence?
wouldn't it-
Maybe yes, maybe not. I'm 23 years old now,
Hey!
and sometimes I still fear for my life. Oh,
Fear
and when
for
it
my
comes
life.
to kids of my own, Maybe I shouldn't even have any. I mean, what
Adopt.
if there was a chance it
Adopt.
was real and my daughter would be stuck with a stupid curse? Especially after seeing how hard it was for my father to deal
Adopt.
with it.
There's plenty
No,
of kids
thank
who
you.
want parents. I think you should adopt if you want kids. That's pretty much my only advice. You should also go to therapy if you're worried about a curse. Definitely do that as well. What is the moral of this story? I can tell you what I think the moral is. The moral of the story is chill!
You picked the wrong house, fool! Hey!
It's me, Carl! You gotta chill, people. You gotta chill. And trust me, this is coming from someone who's had a lot of rough stuff happening in my life recently. I've had a lot to worry about. But worrying all the time, especially for something that hasn't happened yet or could not happen, it's not worth it, people. Don't worry about things you can't control because you will feel bad. It will just mess up your life and it sucks. It's not nice.
Wow, Robert, what a good lesson. It's not very common that I actually find your videos helpful.
This dude. Shut up! Anyways, people, here's the last animation we looked at. Check it out. Here's My Story Animated's channel, so you can go check that out if you want. Or here's a spooky animation video we did. You guys seem to really like it, so if you haven't seen it, go check it out. Love you guys. Have a good one. Peace!